I mocked my husband at a pool party. He then stood up and said it was the final straw. Hello, Reddit. First of all, I've got to say I'm here to rant and get some perspective. It's like every single person in my life have all decided to act like I'm the villain. And honestly, I get it. I did something wrong, but I don't think it was that bad. Like, yeah, I made a joke about my husband, but come on, it wasn't even that serious. People joke about their partners all the time, don't they? It's practically normal, right? I wasn't trying to destroy his confidence or anything. I was just messing around. But no, my husband had to blow it way out of proportion like he always does. Now everyone thinks I'm in the wrong, and I'm the villain in this whole situation. So I'm hoping that by coming on here and getting your opinions, I can show this to some of my friends, and maybe my husband, and maybe, just maybe, they'll finally understand that even strangers on the internet think I'm right. Now, just to be clear, I'm not completely deflecting the blame or saying I'm faultless or perfect, but seriously, everyone is way overreacting here. If I'm being honest, this feels like such a small thing in the grand scheme of things. Like, how is this a big deal? I didn't think it was going to blow up like this, but I guess here we are. So, a bit of background. My husband and I have been married for about 2 years, so not a long time, but we've been together since college. Daniel is a great guy. Honestly, he's a really great guy. He's caring, supportive, and does everything he can to make me happy. I'm not denying any of that. The issue? Well, there's just one thing that drives me insane. He cannot take a joke. Like, seriously, he has zero sense of humor when it comes to anything that even remotely pokes fun at him. And that's what happened at this pool party. It's not like I'm being cruel or mean-spirited. I've never done that. I love him. I've always supported him, and he knows that. But every time I joke around, even in the most lighthearted way, he acts like I'm out to get him. And the worst part is that it always turns into this huge thing. He just can't seem to handle even the smallest teasing. I mean, we're not talking about deep cutting humor or anything. It's not like I'm constantly belittling him or trying to tear him down. I just like to joke, tease, and poke fun at things. Is that really such a crime? I don't think it is. And honestly, if the tables were turned, I wouldn't freak out the way he does. I'd just laugh it off. But nope. Every time I try to joke with him, he takes it so seriously, and it's so annoying. And, okay, maybe this time I went a little too far. I'll admit that. But I didn't mean anything by it. I just thought it was funny in the moment. I don't know how many times I have to tell him, I'm just joking. I mean, I love him. He knows that. We've been through a lot together, but apparently I'm always picking on him. That's why I'm here asking you all, am I wrong for thinking this is overblown? I honestly can't believe that one little joke turned into him sulking all night, getting distant, leaving the house, and now all of our friends and family are making me out to be the bad guy. I grew up in a family that loves to tease each other. It's just how we've always been. Teasing is practically a love language in my family. My siblings, my parents, everyone. We poke fun at each other all the time, and it's never meant to hurt anyone. So naturally, I carried that with me into my relationships. It wasn't even something I thought twice about. It was just normal to me. But well, Daniel takes things way too seriously. Always has, always will. It's one of those quirks that's been there since the beginning. I guess that's what I've learned to deal with, but I don't know if I'm supposed to always be walking on eggshells. If I make a joke about how he's a bit too slow at picking up on things, or how he looks ridiculous when he gets excited about something dumb, like, I don't know, when he got all hyped over some new gadget, I'm not attacking him. I'm just calling out the obvious. He does get excited in this almost childlike way. It's cute, but also, come on, it's kind of funny. But apparently I can't joke about it. Trust me, I've tried to explain to him that it's just playful teasing, that everyone does it in their relationships. Hell, even my friends joke about their partners. It's just normal. But somehow it always gets under his skin. Every single time. He'll put on this sad little face like he's been hurt. And every time I try to brush it off or make him laugh it off, it's like it only makes things worse. I swear, he wants to stay mad at me. It's almost like he's looking for a reason to be upset. And that really grinds my gears. Like, come on, Daniel, get a sense of humor. I'm not the enemy here. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to belittle you. I'm just having some fun, but apparently that's a crime. Now, I can already hear people in the back of my mind judging me, saying things like, you need to respect him more, or you shouldn't make fun of him at all. But listen, if I'm not allowed to tease my husband, who I've been with for years, then what am I supposed to do? Sit here like a robot and never make fun of him? Come on, if I'm not allowed to joke, then what kind of relationship do we have? Okay, maybe it's not as clear-cut as I'm trying to make it sound. I know I made some jokes that were a little over the line, but honestly, I never meant them to be cruel. I just like to have fun, you know? Everyone jokes around with their partner, right? It's not like I was being malicious. Sure, some of the things I said might have stung a little, but I always apologized afterward. I didn't think it was a big deal. It's just a joke. If you can't laugh at yourself, then what's the point? And who hasn't made a joke that didn't land well? It happens. We're all human. And it's not like I never apologized. I always apologize. If I made a joke that seemed to hurt him, I'd take a step back, say I was sorry, and reassure him that I didn't mean anything by it. Apologies should count for something, right? They should, because I did try. But he didn't see it that way. And after a while, I started noticing that it bothered him more than I thought it should. He kept telling me that my jokes weren't funny and that they were hurtful. At first, I brushed it off because, come on, I'm just trying to lighten the mood. But it kept coming up. He would get upset and I'd apologize, but the pattern continued. It wasn't like I was ignoring his feelings. I'd say I was sorry every time, but honestly, it felt like he was just being too sensitive. He would tell me that I always went too far, that it wasn't just playful teasing, and that it was cruel. And honestly, I'm not sure where the line is. It's not like I was calling him names or making fun of anything serious, but I guess I did say things that didn't land the way I thought they would. And I think that's what bothers me the most. It wasn't like I was trying to hurt him, and I thought he'd be able to tell that. We've been together for so long, I know him better than anyone else, right? So, why am I writing this post? It's because people are seriously painting me as the villain, and I need some opinions. I know I made a mistake, but honestly, it's not as terrible as everyone is making it out to be. I'm going to be upfront about this, give you the full picture so you can understand where I'm coming from. Back when we were in college, my husband was a competitive swimmer, and not just any swimmer. He was the swimmer. He was the captain of the team, had all the talent, and everyone thought he was going places. I mean, everyone saw his potential. It was obvious that he had a bright future ahead of him. But then, he got into this accident during training. It was a shoulder injury that was bad enough to stop him from swimming competitively forever. I'm talking done. No more big meets, no more Olympic dreams, nothing. The injury, combined with years of strain on his body, just left him unable to swim like he used to. And for him, it was a huge deal. I get that. It's been a touchy subject for him for years now, and I know it's been tough, but personally, I've always believed that if we can make light of the heavy issues, it makes them easier to deal with. That's just how I deal with things, by making jokes about them, laughing them off. Now, I'm not saying it's a joke to him. I know it's a sensitive subject for him. But that's my way of coping with tough stuff. And honestly, I thought he'd get it. That's how I've always been. I've always thought we had this understanding where we could laugh about the hard stuff. I get that it's complicated for him, the whole thing with his swimming career crashing down, I really do. But who's to say we can't make the best of a bad situation? He wasn't going to be a professional swimmer anymore, sure, but life goes on, right? He's had a good run, and there are other things to focus on. But that's the thing. He didn't seem to get that. He kept holding on to it, letting it define him. Honestly, it started to get on my nerves. One time I made a joke about it. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I wasn't trying to take away his pain or anything. I was just being me, trying to lighten the mood, because that's how I deal with stuff. I deal with things by making jokes and laughing them off. But somehow my joke didn't land, and it hit harder than I expected. It didn't take much to see that his whole mood shifted. It's like he couldn't let go of the past, and it was exhausting. He warned me never to make a joke about it again. Well, I guess I didn't take him seriously enough. I mean, I've always tried to be supportive, but I think it's time he learns how to move on. And yeah, I know I should have been more sensitive. I should have known better, but in the moment, I didn't think it would be such a big deal. Then the swim party came. It was actually his sister's birthday party, and she had requested it be a swim party instead of the usual thing. She didn't want a regular birthday bash. She wanted something different. Our families are pretty much integrated, so of course people from my family came, and most of his family was there too. Even some of our mutual friends showed up. Honestly, the party was going great until I messed it up. My husband was getting ready to get into the water, and I made a poorly timed and honestly stupid joke about his injury. It was a badly worded joke, and I admit now that I should have known better. But back then, I didn't think it would be a big deal. My husband went silent. He didn't get into the water like he was planning to, and a few seconds later, he just told me that he couldn't take it anymore, that this was the last straw, and that he was done. And then he walked away. Everyone was silent, and I was shocked. I wasn't expecting that reaction. His sister leaned into me, and in a harsh whisper, she said I was a horrible person, that my jokes were always so stupid. That's when I realized that maybe I had really messed up. I tried to go after him, tried to apologize, but I couldn't find him anywhere. The party ended, and I figured I'd talk to him later, in private, and explain myself. Yeah, it wasn't the best time for a joke, and maybe I should have been more considerate. But honestly, I never thought it would blow up like that. I never thought it would turn into this huge deal. Yet somehow here I am, being made out to be the villain for cracking a joke. And now, he's really hurt. I get that, but I've always believed that laughter is how you get through the tough stuff. I didn't expect my attempt to lighten the mood to backfire like this. After the party, I looked for him, but I couldn't find him anywhere. The next thing I knew, I found out that he had left without me. He took the car and just went home. I had to take an Uber, which honestly felt like a slap in the face. When I got home that night, I tried to talk to him, but he just shut down. He went to bed angry, and I didn't know what to do. I thought maybe in the morning things would calm down, and we could have a normal conversation. I was so sure that once he cooled off, he'd see that I didn't mean anything by it. But no, the next day, he just packed his things and left. No explanation, no conversation. He hasn't been back for a couple of days now, and it's not like he's ignoring me because he's busy. He's deliberately avoiding me. I've tried reaching out, texting, calling, but nothing's working. It's like a wall went up, and no matter what I say, it doesn't get through to him. Everyone around me is making me feel like I'm the bad guy, like I'm the one who messed up. They keep telling me that I crossed the line with that joke, that it was insensitive and hurtful, and I get it. I do. Maybe I could have been more considerate, but honestly, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I didn't think my words could have this kind of effect on him. It was just a joke, right? I've tried talking to my friends about it, hoping they'd understand, but they all agree with him. They're all saying the same thing, that I was out of line and that I shouldn't have made that joke. And his family? They're making me feel like I'm some kind of villain. His sister hasn't said one word to me since the party. I get that I wasn't perfect, and I can see now that maybe I should have been more aware of his feelings. But it's like no one's willing to even consider that maybe I didn't intend to hurt him. It's just hard because I didn't think it was that bad. People joke around all the time, right? It's not like I was attacking him or making fun of something really serious. I was just trying to be lighthearted, like I always am. But now, everything feels like it's falling apart. And maybe it's because I didn't realize how much this was bothering him all along. Maybe I should have known that my humor isn't always something he can handle, but I didn't. I keep thinking about the party, how everything was going fine until I made that one stupid joke. Maybe it was bad timing. Maybe I shouldn't have said it at all, but I just didn't expect it to snowball into this. Now, it feels like this one thing I said has created this huge chasm between us that I don't know how to bridge. I can't undo it. I can't take it back, no matter how many times I apologize. And every time I try, it feels like I'm digging myself deeper. So here I am on Reddit, hoping maybe showing the comments here to my husband, to my friends, and even to his family will help them see that I didn't mean to hurt him. Maybe they'll realize it wasn't as big of a deal as they're making it out to be. I don't know. I really don't. I just feel like I've done everything I can to fix it, but nothing is getting through. And now I'm not sure if I can fix it at all. It feels like I've crossed a line that can't be undone, and I don't know how to fix what I've broken. I never thought a simple joke could turn everything upside down like this. But now I'm stuck here, trying to piece everything together while he's out there, avoiding me. I don't know what to do anymore. Update. Hello, Reddit. Well, I've got to say, first of all, I did not expect my post to go that viral. When I made that post, I was expecting maybe a couple of likes, a couple of comments here and there. What I was not expecting was my post to go really viral. It has had thousands of comments. I've gotten a ton of DMs. Honestly, so many that I can't even keep track of them all. It's been overwhelming. I logged out of Reddit for a while and kind of just ignored everything for a couple of weeks because I honestly didn't know how to deal with it. But now I'm back with an update, as I'm sure most of you have been waiting for. First things first, I hear you guys. I get it, I understand you all. And honestly, I didn't expect the feedback to hit me the way it did. The comments, the feedback, I've read through all of them and then some. Checking out my DMs, it was really harsh. It was cruel, and it made me realize just how much of an asshole I've been to my husband. My jokes weren't jokes at all. They weren't funny. They were cruel, and the fact that I kept brushing off his feelings, even when he told me it was bothering him, was worse than anything. It's crazy because it feels like it took this long for me to finally realize how fucked up I've been. I really, really do feel bad now. Like, deeply regretful. I can't believe how much I've hurt him, and I'm honestly surprised he stuck around as long as he did. The fact that I've hurt him this much makes my stomach turn. I tried to apologize to him, but my apology was like pouring water on a rock. It didn't sink in, it didn't make a difference. He's done, and I don't know how to feel about it. On one hand, I want him to forgive me, and I'm completely heartbroken over everything. I hate knowing that I've ruined our relationship this way. On the other hand, I feel like this is my punishment. I don't deserve forgiveness. I've been trying to make sense of this. He said he wants a divorce. He doesn't want couples counseling. He says that he's not going to be with someone that for the longest time couldn't even acknowledge her errors. I guess that's fair. He says I need therapy because I'm such a horrible person and that sorry isn't a magical fix. The truth is, the comments were right. I didn't realize just how toxic I had become, but now that I see it, I feel like I've ruined everything beyond repair. I don't know what to do. I've apologized to everyone around me. They were right too. I'm not just some misunderstood person who's been misunderstood in this situation. They weren't painting me as the villain. I was the villain. I'm struggling to accept that, but slowly I'm coming to terms with it. I'm asking for your advice again, because honestly, I feel so lost. Is there any way I can rebuild my marriage? Can I get to my husband and make him understand how sincere I'm being? I feel like everything I've done has just pushed him further away. I don't want to lose him, but I don't know what else to do. I've tried everything I could think of to make things right, but nothing seems to work. I'm not expecting a miracle here. I know I've done too much damage, but is there any hope left at all? Or am I just going to be left with the consequences of my own actions, which honestly, I've earned? I'm ready to hear the harsh truths and the criticism. Maybe that's what I need to finally see it all. Update. Hello, Reddit. Wow, the comments are still brutal. It's like everyone has jumped on the bandwagon of hate against me, and honestly, I can't even argue with it. I feel like I deserve it. I mean, after everything I've done, why wouldn't you all be angry? I haven't posted in a couple of weeks because, frankly, I didn't have much of an update to give. What was I supposed to come here and say? Update you on how mundane my life has been? Or tell you about how everything in my life has completely fallen apart? So yeah, here's the truth. I had to move out of my house, my marital home. My husband, no ex-husband, served me the divorce papers. I don't know what I was expecting, but this sure wasn't it. He's really, truly done with me. He's locked the door, kept the keys, and there's no going back now. He's moved on. He wants nothing to do with me anymore. He's shut me out completely. And then, of course, I had to leave his house, the one we bought together, the one I thought would be our home forever. So I packed up what little I could salvage of my pride and left. I headed back to my parents' house. And let me tell you, it's been awful. Not only because I'm back living with them in my late 20s, which is humiliating enough, but because of how everyone is treating me. It's not like I'm getting any sympathy or comfort here. Every day it feels like someone else reminds me of how wrong I was. And trust me, they've all got something to say. It's like I'm a constant reminder to everyone around me of how much I've messed up. I can't escape it. From my parents to my friends to anyone who knows what happened, they all seem to be shaking their heads at me. I don't think I've heard the words, "you fucked up," more in my life. And you know what? They're right. I did. I fucked up in ways I didn't even realize until it was too late. Now, I'm stuck with the consequences of that. Honestly, I feel like I've lost everything. My marriage, my dignity, and my future. I was so caught up in my own bullshit that I didn't realize what I had until it was too late. My ex-husband is through with me. There's no coming back from this. I've destroyed everything, and now I'm here, living in a room that's not even mine, surrounded by people who constantly remind me of how wrong I was. So, yeah, that's it. Not much going on in my life other than me being severely miserable. I'm sorry to disappoint anyone who was hoping for a happy ending or some kind of redemption arc. I really thought I could fix this. I thought I could fix him. I thought I could fix us. But now it feels like there's nothing left to fix. I've ruined it all. Anyway, I guess I just wanted to update you all. If anything, it's a reminder that sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you can't undo the damage you've caused. And I don't know how to move forward from here. I don't know if I even deserve to move forward at all. Update. Hello, Reddit. It's been a while, hasn't it? I've avoided updating because, honestly, I just didn't have the strength to. More than that, I didn't want to face all the hate that was coming my way. It hurt so much that I couldn't bring myself to write another post and face the reality of what I had done. So I just stayed quiet for as long as I could. And every day it felt like the shame was weighing me down more and more. The truth is, it hurt. It really hurt. Reading all those comments, people telling me how horrible I am, how much I screwed up, it stung. And the last thing I wanted to do was face that, especially when my life had already gone downhill in ways I could never have imagined. Coming here to update on how my life has only gotten worse would have felt like admitting defeat, and I wasn't ready to face that. But now I've somehow moved past the worst of that shame, and here I am, back with an update. First things first, the divorce has been finalized. No going back, no miraculous change of heart, no last-minute reconciliation. It's done, officially done. I didn't even get anything. I didn't expect a lot, but I thought maybe, just maybe, there would be some room for compromise. There wasn't. There wasn't any room left for us. I got nothing but my name and the weight of the mess I made. He was through with me, and nothing was going to change that. I thought that maybe I could find some way to fix it, some way to salvage something. But there's nothing to salvage now. And then to make everything worse, I got fired from my job. I can't say I'm surprised. I had a feeling something like this would happen. I'd been slacking off for months, not showing up like I should, not caring enough, too distracted by everything falling apart in my personal life, but it still stung. I thought maybe my experience would count for something. Maybe they'd look past everything that happened and just see me for the work I do. But no, I was given the boot, and the severance package was laughable. I wasn't even given a proper chance to recover before it all came crashing down again. I've been trying to look for new jobs, but I'm not exactly motivated. Some days I can't even get out of bed. How can I go out there and sell myself to potential employers when I don't even want to face the world? It's been a mess. I think about freelancing a lot, working from home, having control over my own schedule, but that just feels like another excuse to hide away. I hate the idea of working in isolation, but at this point, I think I'll take anything that gets me out of my parents' house. Speaking of which, living here has been tough. Don't get me wrong, I love my parents, but every single day it feels like the disappointment in their eyes is all I can see. They try to be supportive, but I can tell it's not the same anymore. They don't say it outright, but it's in the way they talk to me, the way they look at me. It's like I'm a reminder of everything they hoped I wouldn't become. I feel like a burden. I hate it here, and I can't wait to get out, but I can't see a way forward. Every plan I make to escape feels like another failed attempt. I keep thinking about how I got here, how I ruined everything, and it's suffocating. So yeah, that's where I am right now. A divorced, miserable woman with no job, living with my parents who can't even hide their disappointment. I'm lost. I hate myself. I'm depressed, and I don't know how to get out of this hole I've dug myself into. All I can think about is how I fucked up everything. I've burned the one thing that mattered the most to me, and I've left a scar on myself that will never heal. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm not saying this for sympathy. I know I've made my bed, and now I have to lie in it. But I'm just so tired of feeling like I'm stuck. I don't know how to move forward. It feels like this is all there is for me now. Maybe I've already hit rock bottom, and this is all that's left. I don't see a way up.